One beautiful bride.
Filipino mail-order brides are considered the most popular foreign wives, but why? We did some research, investigated the market, and had a few interviews to find out what a man can expect from Filipino brides in reality and what the actual costs of dating a Filipina online and in real life are. I'm Sarah, and with my team we share everything we've learned in this guide. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to see even more interesting content from One Beautiful Bride.
We analyzed all possible scenarios and concluded that there are two most effective ways to meet a Filipino wife. Each has its pros and cons. Visiting the country might be the first thing that pops into the mind. However, there is one thing everyone should do before planning a trip. It's crucially important to understand your own priorities. If a man is just going to have some fun in a country with amazing nature and maybe meet someone special if he is lucky, buying a regular tour is a good option. However, if finding a Filipino bride is his top priority, there is a chance that a specialized tour will be a better option. Full organization. Planning flights and accommodation. Romantic dating events. Variety of Filipino wives. Translation services. Visiting the country with a dating tour is much easier as you shouldn't worry about planning things. However, there are a few things you should consider. First, there were a lot of such tours a few years ago, but they're obviously becoming less popular. We could find only a few offers. On top of that, note that too low prices are suspicious. Some providers offer tours for less than $3,000, and that's the cost you'd need to pay if you bought a regular tour. That, in turn, means that planning events at which you'll meet potential girlfriends, translation services are provided for free, and you know that there's always free cheese in a mousetrap. So, learn everything about the conditions if you're considering the idea of going on such a vacation. Most guys, however, meet Filipino girls through niche websites. According to the 2017 survey results, about 39% of heterosexual couples reported meeting their partner online, compared to 22% in 2009. There are the pitfalls, though. In the best-case scenario, less than half of sites that can connect you with a Filipino woman are worth the money. Our team tested a lot of sites when analyzing different niches in the international dating market. We know what can go wrong and how the good system actually works from our own experience, and here are the things that we always keep in mind. Considering multiple options is a must. Creating a good profile is half the battle. Search is super helpful. Communication can be different. Narrowing down the list of potential Filipino wives is among most time-saving actions. Yes, the scheme is pretty simple, but we could avoid most common problems and scams and meet a few very attractive people due to using it. We couldn't help but notice how popular the query "buy a Filipino wife" is on the web. Most links, however, take you to regular dating sites, which just goes to prove no one can literally buy a bride. It's just illegal. In this context, the word cost refers to all the costs associated with online dating, visas, and trips to another country, and we'll talk about them all in more detail. The cost of online dating services largely depends on the site, its pricing policy, and in some cases, on a member's dating style. We analyzed the market, distinguished a few most common types of dating sites, and calculated the average costs of services they provide. According to recent surveys, it takes the users on average 2 months before finally finding that special someone. On regional niche sites, most members spend up to $100 a month on average, so the cost of finding a Filipino match is about $200. Also, to get the best Filipino brides prices, users can often benefit from the promo deals and special discounts that some sites give to newly registered members. In addition, many popular websites offer free trials, extra services, and lower prices for successful registration. A man can't marry a woman he's never met. This is impossible just because of the K-1 visa requirements.
According to K-1 visa requirements, a foreign fiancé can get a visa and enter the US only if a couple has met in real life within the previous 2 years.
In turn, means that everyone who meets a Filipina bride online will need to go to the Philippines at least a few times sooner or later if he really wants to marry her. It's just more cost-effective to visit her in her homeland. In fact, the Philippines is a pretty cheap country to visit, only the airfare can be expensive. So, the expenditures are as follows. Travel expenses take a big chunk of the Philippine wife's cost and are around $3,587 for a 2-week trip. Online dating, if we assume that a member finds a match in 2 months and stays on the site for 8 to 10 months to get really close with a woman before going to the Philippines, will cost about $1,200. If a man goes to the Philippines twice, he'll spend about $7,174, plus $2,290 more on a visa and adjustment status, if he decides to marry his Filipino girlfriend. The wedding license is not so expensive, depends on the state, $50 on average, and the average cost of a wedding ceremony, which is optional, of course, is $20,000. So, the total cost of a bride ranges from $10,664 without a wedding ceremony, $30,714 with a wedding ceremony. We analyzed statistics and facts on Filipino brides. A lot of them turned out to be very surprising. In 2019, 7,134 Filipino brides came to the US to marry, and in 2021 the number decreased to 1,227 due to global pandemic and its consequences. The average age difference between Filipino women and their American partners is 6 to 11 years. According to statistics, around 80% of Filipino mail-order brides' marriages last. The intermarriage rates are incredibly high in the Philippines, but another important question is what the reasons why Filipino girls for marriage are looking for European and American boyfriends really are.
The market shows us that the popularity of Filipino brides will hardly ever decline. About 7 out of 10 Asian women that marry foreign men are Filipinas. No wonder there are tons of platforms with single Filipino brides. Though that's the good news, every man seeking a Filipino wife should be twice as careful. I've analyzed hundreds of websites, and only about 10% of them are worth the money. Speaking of money, I'd recommend our readers put quality first. The opportunity to meet Filipino mail-order brides is real, but you shouldn't miss it hoping to save $20 a month on a low-quality site.
Most Filipinas we interviewed note that they are attracted to foreign men because they're seeking new opportunities, looking for higher living standards. Just consider Western guys to be more caring and supportive, and most importantly, faithful husbands. Moreover, many women note that though they believe in traditional values, they expect a foreign husband to respect them more than local guys, allow them to develop new skills, and accept their ambitions without judgment.
So, who should look for a Filipino bride and who shouldn't? The truth is you need to make a wise choice. A man is likely to be happy with a Filipino wife if he's looking for a caring, beautiful, and respectful woman who'd also be open-minded and sociable enough to assimilate to another culture and new people pretty fast. However, a guy who often lacks personal space being in a relationship and can't stand it when a woman asks for more attention, should probably look for a match in another country. Good luck with your one and only beautiful bride.